Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back with another video. Today we're talking about following the money with Bittensor TAO. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and if you want to get notified, hit that bell notification icon. But you've also got a free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin linked below the video in the description. Grab it down below and let's talk about Bittensor. Okay, so it's not very often something like Bitcoin comes around. And what I often find myself thinking is, are there investment opportunities similar to Bitcoin that are in emerging industries that we could be capitalizing on at this very moment in time? We know Bitcoin was launched all the way back in 2009. January of that year, we saw the first block for the Bitcoin network, and we saw a whole host of ecosystems, spin-offs, new blockchains emerging over the preceding 10 to 15 years, bringing us to 2025, where we're at today. But one person who was very early in the Bitcoin game was Barry Silbert. Barry Silbert is a billionaire thanks to Bitcoin and the investment decisions that he made very, very early on. His net worth is in the billions of dollars. I think somewhere in the region of 2 to 3 billion US dollars is what Barry Silbert is worth. And really, Barry made the majority or the lion's share of his money from the expansion of Digital Currency Group and creating the first investable Bitcoin ETF, or the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, that we'll take a look at in a moment, which allowed him to use it as a vehicle for investing in Bitcoin all the way back since 2012, 2013, creating the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust in 2016, 2017, I believe, and continuing to grow and scale it from there. So I think there is a lot of weight that I would put in the opinion of someone like Barry Silbert, given his track record, given his experience, and the way that he was able to invest in Bitcoin from a very early stage. So like I said, he's estimated to be worth 3.2 billion, in fact. And what we're seeing is, in more recent years and over the past few months in particular, Barry making some moves to think about investing in Bittensor TAO in a similar fashion to what he did with Bitcoin all those years ago. Okay, bringing it back a step again, Digital Currency Group is the essentially the parent or the holding company that Barry created in order to house the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust for Grayscale Ventures, which we'll look at in a moment. But if you take a quick look on their website, you'll see that they are on the bleeding edge of cryptocurrency and financial innovation in the crypto space, blockchain technology, everything to do with Bitcoin, and obviously now with TAO and the expanding world of artificial intelligence, we could be on the precipice of some Bitcoin-like investment opportunities, given that we have this emerging market with all of the biggest companies in the world fighting for the mindshare of artificial intelligence. So, like I said, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust ETF is now, in fact, an ETF, but even prior to it getting an official ETF stamp of approval in January 2024, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust was in operation since 2016, 2017, accumulating over 500,000 to 600,000 Bitcoin from that period in 2017 all the way through to January 2024. It continues to be a fantastic investment vehicle with their GBTC product offering. They've also spun out a few additional Bitcoin trusts on top of the initial Bitcoin trust, and they have an Ethereum ETF as well. They also have a SUI ETF and SUI Grayscale Trust. But the point I'm making here is, with Barry having spun up Grayscale Ventures and the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust ETF, he's now making these moves over the past few months to create what he has now with the Grayscale Bittensor Trust. So having a dedicated Bittensor TAO Trust where investors can get exposure to this asset from an institutional perspective. Again, the investment objective of the Grayscale Bittensor Trust specifically is one of the first investment vehicles that enables investors to gain exposure to the token underlying the Bittensor platform TAO in the form of a security, while avoiding the challenges of buying, storing, and safekeeping Bittensor directly. So this is where Barry has made his money. He has merged the worlds of traditional finance with Bitcoin and crypto. And the latest product offering here with the Grayscale Bittensor Trust allows institutional capital to flow into TAO, having exposure to the TAO token, essentially as a proxy or as a derivative, with the security from the Grayscale Bittensor Trust. Like I said, Over the past few months, Grayscale Ventures and the Digital Currency Group have essentially created Yuma. Yuma is an accelerating decentralized intelligence protocol, not protocol, let's just say launchpad, because they are essentially incubating and acting as an accelerator for many of these subnets within the Bittensor TAO ecosystem. If you're not already familiar with subnets, I encourage you to go take a look on some of the videos I've made on the channel, because there's tons of information and insights learning about specific subnets and the different individual use cases they are targeting. Every single subnet is its own individual business competing for rewards within the greater TAO ecosystem. Definitely brush up on what that means and some of the jargon and language around subnets if you want to dive deeper. But the main point I'm making here is that at the Digital Currency Group, you can see Yuma is a DCG company from Barry. They are creating this incubator to essentially continue to push and drive the next layer of innovation in the artificial intelligence space by investing and accelerating subnets within the Bittensor ecosystem. As you can see, Yuma powers transformative projects on Bittensor that will reshape our futures. This comes back to Barry's thesis in artificial intelligence and the overlap or the merging of AI and crypto and blockchain technology. Yuma offers startups and enterprises access to capital, technical resources, connections with a passionate community, and exposure to the right audience at the right time. Okay, Barry is obviously extremely well connected given his decade of experience plus in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and he's making a bet here to see the potential with the Bittensor TAO ecosystem and spinning up an entire company that is focused solely on acting as a subnet accelerator. They've also got a Yuma validator here in the TAO ecosystem as well, and they're leveraging in-house AI and machine learning expertise to compete on subnets at scale for mining as well. He is going all in on this TAO ecosystem. He understands the flow of capital and how the institutional funds will begin to flow into AI and decentralized permissionless AI, acting as a true competitor to centralized counterparties like OpenAI, like Claude, Anthropic, Google Gemini, etc. We're about to see a very exciting few years in this entire space. So this video, as I said, is about following the money, following the people and the money that understands and has a track record in this space already. And I think following someone like Barry Silbert and his recent focus on Bittensor, the launch of Yuma, a digital currency group company and business, is very exciting and bodes very well for the future of decentralized artificial intelligence. I'm going to leave a link for Yuma in the description below this video, but check it out for yourself, guys. I think it's very exciting to see someone of Barry's stature going so heavily into this ecosystem of AI and decentralized blockchain technology. That is it for today's video, guys. As always, if you got any value out of today's video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button below, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and don't forget you've got a completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin waiting for you in the description below this video. Grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.